young people, we need to get angry and hold the old generations accountable for the mess they have created. And we must realize that our future is on the line. And we need to make our voices heard. The first thing I have learned is that you are never too small to make a difference.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I am 15 years old and I'm from Sweden. I speak on behalf of climate justice now. Many people say that Sweden is just a small country and it doesn't matter what we do. But I've learned that you are never too small to make a difference. And if a few children can get headlines all over the world just by not going to school, then imagine what we could all do together if we really wanted to. But to do that, we have to speak clearly, no matter how uncomfortable that may be. You only speak of green, eternal economic growth because you are too scared of being unpopular. You only talk about moving forward with the same bad ideas that got us into this mess, even when the only sensible thing to do is pull the emergency brake. You are not mature enough to tell it like it is. Even that burden you leave to us children. But I don't care about being popular. I care about climate justice and a living planet. Our civilization is being sacrificed for the opportunity of a very small number of people to continue making enormous amounts of money. Our biosphere is being sacrificed so that rich people in countries like mine can live in luxury. It is the sufferings of the many which pay for the luxuries of the few. The year 2078, I will celebrate my 75th birthday. If I have children, maybe they will spend that day with me. Maybe they will ask me about you. Maybe they will ask why you didn't do anything while there still was time to act. You say you love your children above all else, and yet you are stealing their future in front of their very eyes. Until you start focusing on what needs to be done rather than what is politically possible, there is no hope. We cannot solve a crisis without treating it as a crisis. We need to keep the fossil fuels in the ground, and we need to focus on equity. And if solutions within this system are so impossible to find, then maybe we should change the system itself. We have not come here to beg world leaders to care. You have ignored us in the past, and you will ignore us again. We have run out of excuses, and we are running out of time. We have come here to let you know that change is coming, whether you like it or not. The real power belongs to the people. Thank you.
You are never too small to make a difference. That is what a brave and powerful 15-year-old said to the assembled world leaders, other dignitaries and NGOs at the COP24 climate conference in Poland. Greta Thunberg is a young woman from Sweden who has decided to make it her life's mission to save the world from climate change. Listen to her speak truth to power as she looks to the future.
The year 2078, I will celebrate my 75th birthday. If I have children, maybe they will spend that day with me. Maybe they will ask me about you. Maybe they will ask why you didn't do anything while there still was time to act. You say you love your children above all else, and yet you are stealing their future in front of their very eyes.
Greta went on to tell the grown-ups, "You're not mature enough to tell it like it is." Well, she certainly is mature enough to do so, and she joins me now from Stockholm, Sweden. Thanks for joining us, Greta.
Thank you.
You first came to our attention, at least, when you began to skip many, many days of school. I think it was 3 weeks in all, and you went and protested outside of Sweden's parliament. What made you think of doing that?
I got the idea from, there were a few youths in the USA that refused to go to school because of the school shootings. And then someone I knew said, what if children did that, but for the climate? And then I thought that was a very good idea. And then I decided I was going to do that, because no one is doing anything and nothing is happening. So then I guess I have to do something.
So it was the Parkland shooting in Florida and those children who decided to protest in that way that, in a sense, inspired you. And when you decided you wanted to do something like this, did you talk to your parents? Did they agree? How did you proceed?
I told them, and they said, "Are you sure that's a good idea? Isn't there anything else you can do to make your voice heard?" And then I said, "No, this is what I'm going to do." And they said that we are not going to support you with this. You are going to have to do this alone if you are going to do this, because they are parents and they can't support this.
Why could they not support it? And what do they mean not support it? They couldn't support your taking time off from school? They felt that was inappropriate?
Yes, I mean, a parent's duty is to make sure that their child go to school. And so, of course, they can't support that I am skipping class like this.
What made you decide that this was going to be the thing that you wanted to do? Have you always been looking for for a cause, or do you always felt like you wanted to make a difference in the world, or is it that climate change just strikes you as so big that you felt moved by that?
Yes, I mean, the climate crisis is the biggest crisis humanity has ever faced, and if we don't do anything right now, we're screwed. And then I thought that I want to be able to, when I grow up, to look back and say, I did what I could back then, and it is my moral duty to do what I can. And then I just decided to do it because there's nothing I have to lose.
And you're not just talking about it, but as we say in the United States, you're also walking the walk. You have changed your life and your lifestyle to try to have as low an impact as you can, both in terms of climate and sustainability. Outline some of those measures.
Yeah, I have stopped flying, I have stopped eating meat, and I have stopped consuming new things and buying new things.
So we're coming up on Christmas and New Year. You're not going to get any new things as gifts?
No, not me. My parents, they don't get me many presents because I don't want any presents.
Greta, what would you say to people, particularly in places like the United States? What's your message to the adults in the room, as it were?
My message to the people in general is that we have to understand the emergency of this situation, and we need to realize that our political leaders have failed us, and then we must make our voices heard and to put pressure on the people in power and say to them that we're not going to allow this to continue anymore. And we young people need to say that we must hold the older generations accountable for the mess they have created and us to live with, and say to them that you cannot continue risking our future like this. And so we need to get angry, and then we need to transform that anger into action.
Well, I admire your conviction and your courage. Greta, pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on here.